Welcome, my fellow Rune Weavers. I hope you've all had a pleasant Krampusnacht, and none of you have had too much mischief from the perk eye, although we all know that you can't get by without a little mischief, right? So, tapestry you've seen me working on, here it is, all done, neatly tied off, finished just in time for the holiday. So that's good, right? Now I am working on winterizing my favorite birch cloak. Funny thing about Florida winter garb versus Minnesota winter garb is the Florida winter garb works pretty okay in the fall, but come winter, it is nowhere near warm enough. So I have a little bit of a sewing project to do where I'm going to convert it and get a nice faux fur fluffy collar and kind of front piece on it too. This cloak here that I'm wearing, I got in West Palm Beach, Florida at a pagan swap down there this February before I moved. When I said I was moving to Minnesota, and the person who was giving away was like, look, it's really hot. So I said, I'm moving to Minnesota. He's like, it's meant for you then. But even this, I would not wear this outside at this time of year. It's like 2 degrees outside. But the upside of the 2 degrees, snow and skiing. Oh, it's so much fun. So much fun. Hail Scotty, hail skiing, hail the cramp eye, hail to the birch queen. So, what are we learning today? Today's rune is going to be Raidho. Raidho is a rune of the road, of traveling, and of going places. So if you think about it, it's a very, very good rune for this time of year. A lot of people are traveling, they're going home for the holidays, they're going for new places. So let us see then what the words of the High One have to say about traveling. The traveler must train his wits. All is easy at home. He who knows little is a laughingstock amongst men of the world. I think there's a lot of wisdom in that quote, especially with how things are right now in the world. The more you know of what's out there, the more you know about what's beyond your front door, the easier it is to understand the way things might be seen from another person's perspective. When you've only ever been in the same kinds of places with the same kinds of people your whole life, you start thinking that that's all there is. But there is so much more to see and to be seen. So, let's talk about our rune of the day, Raidho. It is the pointy R. So you kind of draw the R shape there. There we go. So Raidho, what does Raidho mean? One of the best translations is road, but it also is closely tied to the word for wagon. So it refers both to the road that you travel and to the vehicle that you might be using to get there. Wheeled conveyances by the Indo-Europeans back in the early, pre-diaspora era. It's probably one of the main innovations that led them to go as far as they did. Literally, you find Indo-Europeans from Ireland through Europe, through Central Asia, down into India, and then even in China. There were a few, I believe, towards Western China, I think there were also settlements of people who were described as, fair-haired and blue-eyed, and those could very well be more of the Indo-European settlers who traveled and went along what would later be called places like the Silk Road and down into India as well. So They were definitely a people who cared a lot about being on the move, and the rune Raidho conveys that sort of energy. It's a rune about getting out there and going places, about changing your perspective on the world by seeing something new. And you often hear that quote, people before the 19th century often never saw anything beyond 30 miles from their home. That was the farthest that your typical person would go. But then when you read through the sagas and you see just how much those Vikings were getting around, oh yeah, I'm in Iceland, but I'm going to go over and harass the king of Norway because I'm mad at him. And oh, well, may as well stop in England for a little while. I mean, these weren't people traveling on modern day Viking ships like the ones you see on the cruise lines. These were people in relatively small, open boats